Welcome to In Conversation with MANWAR podcast. This podcast is brought to you by the Do Not Be a Bystander campaign. You can join us in raising awareness about bullying by visiting the donotbeabystander.com, and be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay informed about upcoming episodes. Today's participants are Shabnam and Rahib.
Welcome to our Bullying Awareness podcast. I'm your host, MANWAR Khan. Today, I'm joined by two young individuals who are ready to share their thoughts and insights on the topic of leadership. Leadership is the ability to inspire, guide, and influence others towards a common goal or vision. It involves taking charge, making decisions, and providing direction to a group of individuals or an organization. Today's participants are Shabnam and Rahib. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now that we have introduced our participants, let's get started with our question. So leadership refers to the ability to guide, inspire, and influence others towards a common goal and vision, which I already mentioned. So my question for you, Rahib, is what does leadership mean to you? And can anyone be a leader, or there are certain qualities is necessary to have a effective leader?
Thank you. Leadership is the act of guiding a team or individual to achieve a certain goal through direction and motivation. Leadership encourages others to take action they need to succeed. To be a great leader, it is necessary to learn and have the skills it takes to be effective. Yes, anyone can be a leader. While not everyone is born a leader, anyone can become one with the right training and expression. An effective leader takes various qualities ranging from innovation, problem solving, and a growth mindset to empathy and patience. Knowing your people, a good leader knows his or her team better than anyone else. Their strengths, their weakness, what makes them, motivate them. Learning about those qualities can help leaders develop and apply those skills in the workplace and seeking out fit, permitting them to motivate their teams and achieve their goals. Thank you.
Excellent. I like the part that you said that it can be learned. It is true. I did attend one of the seminars, and where we were a whole day seminar, they talked about that leadership is the thing that can be learned. So there are many educational institutions right now is having courses to how you develop those soft skills if you want to be a leader. So leadership, obviously, there are some by born leaders. We see if we go and explore the history, but leadership is a skill that can be learned. Great answer. Thank you, Rahib. So showing leadership in your everyday life does not always mean being a formal leadership position. It is about taking initiative, inspiring others, and making positive impacts. So, Shabna, my question for you is, how can you show leadership in everyday life?
Thanks, Manwar. Leadership is something that you implement in your everyday life, even if you do not realize. No matter if you are at home, at work, at school, at a transit, at a playground, or anywhere else, you can exhibit leadership quality. Small things like deciding a dinner menu for keeping all the family members' preferences and dietary restrictions in mind does require you to show excellent management skill. Raising a kid requires parents to be leaders so that they can give directions. Parents are the ones who give kids the directions. They show how to be confident, how to share, how to set goals, how to deal with failure, and how to reach success. In one word, they are showing leadership to rise future leaders. Then if you are working in a team, it doesn't matter if you are in a leadership role or not. You do need to display leadership quality. You need to be good in communication. You must have the ability to uh, solve problems and take initiative and help others. Taking the first stand is also something a good leader does. Leaders make their voice heard. As Manwar says, if you see something, say something. Leaders are the ones who intervene. In our day-to-day life, we see different sorts of injustice, and when we speak up, we become leaders. Thank you.
Great answer. Thank you so much, Shabnam. Leadership is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in your charge. This is not my quote, this is Simon Sinek. This is one of my favorite quotes. Thank you so much. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I do have one.
Sure, go ahead.
So I do see leadership quality in you. So I was just curious if you are like a leader by born or you learned it.
I don't that's a nobody ever asked me questions in my podcast, but you're the first person who asked me question. So I have developed these skills, and the way I grow up. um I mean, I do mention in lots of interviews that when in my age I was like kids, toddler, even I would say when I was in grade 5 6, my friends would be watching cartoon, and whereas my dad would be giving me the newspaper and said that read it at that time instead of watching cartoon, and find out what is going on in your community. So this value was instilled in me when I was kid, that you think about other people. And if that makes you leader, I mean, you cannot, I mean, then I am, yeah, if that is you guys consider leader, that is a leader. And but I take initiatives. There is one of the qualities of the leadership is also taking in initiatives. There are lots of leaders, lots of people around us. They are leaders. Compared to them, I am nobody. But sometimes they lack of, I would say, confidence. They don't take the initiative, and but that's what I want to encourage everybody, that you take an initiative, you will see, you will be surprised to know that so many people are out there to help you. I hope you got your answer.
I did. Thank you.
All right, excellent. We have come to the end of our podcast. I would like to thank our participants, Rahib and Shabnam. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Before we wrap up, I would like to remind our listeners that there are several resources available to help individuals dealing with bullying. The government of Alberta has a bullying helpline which provides support and advice to those experiencing bullying. The helpline can be reached at 1-888-456-2323. Bullying is a violation of human rights. Under no circumstances, bullying is acceptable. Thank you for joining in conversation with Manwar Khan, and we will see you next week. Thank you, Rahib. Thank you, Shabnam.
Thank you.